You were never too soft. You weren't too much either. You were just taught to be nice in a world that rewards power, not sacrifice. And that is why, my beautiful, you keep getting hurt. I want to share a very important message with you in this video, and that is that if you have been feeling that you are weak, if you have been feeling that you've been taken advantage of, that you have not been respected, I want to help you to understand that you're not losing because you're weak. Okay? I want you to understand this. You literally are losing out in life at the moment. You are not living life to its fullest. You are not being rewarded, essentially, in real life, because you have been following this old program that you were taught. And that was, you were trained to prioritize comfort over respect. And that is not comfort in terms of, oh, we're sitting, we're chilling, we're relaxing, we're watching Netflix. Comfort as in, I am not going to ruffle anyone's feathers. I am not going to say no when I'm asked to do something. I am not going to do the thing that I need to do if it's going to cause someone else a little bit of friction. Even though it may be best for them, even though it's best for me. And that is the reality. What I'm going to share with you today are some very important facts that I think are going to change your life. So let's begin. You have been programmed to be nice. That is the problem. People say, have you ever heard someone's talking about someone else? Oh, she's so nice. He's so nice. What does that mean? It essentially means that that person is very accommodating, doesn't it? Let's be honest. Let me know in the comments if you can think of somebody who is always called they're so nice. Now, I'm thinking of some people, okay? They are nice. They're very lovely people. But generally, these people are taken advantage of. These people are walked all over. These people are so accommodating. And I want you to understand that from the moment that you were little, you have been rewarded for being agreeable, for being quiet, for being helpful, for being self-sacrificing, for being accommodating. Let me tell you, I was one of the most agreeable, quiet, helpful, self-sacrificing, accommodating people there was. And we were taught, good girls don't cause problems. Be easy. Don't be demanding. Don't upset anyone. Do the right thing. But do the right thing generally means do what's right for them, not for you. And what you actually learned was that your needs come last, especially as a female, usually. Your needs come last. Your discomfort is irrelevant, because sometimes you just have to do things you don't want to do, and that is the case, right? And we're not talking about self-development here. I'm talking about this general feeling that if you're not slogging it out, doing things that you don't want to do, obligations, let's call them, if you're not killing yourself, breaking your back to do all these things that you're expected to do, then you're not a good person. And in some professions, by the way, this is so bad. I come from, in fact, it's not even necessarily like only certain professions, but if you work in care, if you work in education, all of these things, it's as if you don't do over and above, if you do your basic working time agreement, then you're not working hard enough. You have to go over and above. Oh my God, she actually leaves. Imagine, like I don't know if you know any teachers. She walks in at 9 o'clock, leaves at 3. And it's like, yeah, that's what she's paid for. What do you expect? You expect her to go in to work, like 72 hours a week, which you probably, most of them do. You expect that, and you expect them to work for then minimum wage, and you expect them to take all of that time from their families. Do you see what I'm saying? But there's an obligation in the air, isn't there, in these professions? But not even with professions. It's like embedded into our entire culture. Well, what we have left of it in the UK. Our culture originally was that you were kind, you were helpful, but then at some point it turned into you do the right thing. Okay, probably, I don't want to go back too far, but probably thinking of times when people were asked to step up for their country, do the right thing. The right thing? According to who? But what you've essentially learned, and we are social creatures. We are herd-like creatures. Well, most of us are. And what we've been taught is do the right thing, stand in line, do what you're told, don't ask questions. Your government care about you. They know what they're talking about. It's like we have been taught, close your mind, close your ears, and just do what you are told. But you've essentially learned in your life that your needs come last, your discomfort is irrelevant, your boundaries, they're negotiable, and that training didn't make you kind. It actually just made you convenient for the person who was benefiting from this kind of teaching. And it's ingrained into our culture, as I said. It's permeated down from the people that want you to behave and do the right thing, in inverted commas, all the way down into the education system, all the way down into the religious systems. Okay, I'm a very spiritual person, extremely spiritual person, but when we're talking about organised religions, why were they organised in the first place? There's lots of good teachings, but essentially it's to keep people in line. Now, what I want to help you understand is the fact that niceness, it's just nicety, okay, these niceties that you go on about your life, like we're like trying to brag about how nice we are, showing what we do for everybody. Oh, I'm a nice person because I go over and above to do all these nice things. But niceness actually attracts emotional predators. And I want you to understand this. Here's the dark psychology. I've had to learn a lot about this. Manipulative people, they scan for softness. Okay? There are certain people in certain professions, and even like, let me tell you as well, like just certain groups of people scan. People like that who are very self-absorbed or have their own interests at heart, they can scan for softness. They're essentially reading a room, looking around them, especially in terms of meeting new people. They are looking for people who are nice, soft, people-pleasing. So what are they looking for? They're looking for empathy. They're looking for guilt proneness, people who are easy to guilt. I am a recovering someone who could be very easily guilted. I used to feel so guilty about doing, oh my gosh, what about them? What about this? What will they think? How will they feel? And I've realised so often, like it literally, my heart would hurt. And I've realised, when people are prone to guilt, you're essentially a target. You are a target for people who, for one way or another, want to manipulate you. They look for emotional availability. They look for people who have a fear of conflict. They just want to stay, oh, everything's all chilled. Let's just not get into this conversation. Let's, sit on the fence. And they look for people with a desire to please. So if you're somebody who's single, you're not in a relationship, or you're somebody who's looking to move into maybe a new work environment, or you're looking to make new friends or whatever, you need to be very careful that you are not being overly nice. and you're not showing these signs, because people like this, they don't want love. They're maybe not perhaps looking for loyalty, for friendships. They actually just want access. Because nice women make it really easy to cross lines, to dump emotional weight, to take advantage, and to avoid accountability. And I am going to be brutally honest. Sometimes people want a sounding board, and sometimes people want to assert their power. So they will look for an outlet for that. They will look for somebody who is an easy target, who they can just dump their rubbish onto. Because let me tell you that in this day and age, unfortunately, with the dawn of Netflix, with all the Prime documentary, all the, let's call them documentaries, series, people are addicted to drama. And what I've noticed as well in my own personal life, I mean, I'm somebody who I'm like, once you show me those signs that you are, let's just say, not as genuine as I thought, there's going to be a big distance created there, because I only allow people in my network, my very close network, who I can trust. People these days are addicted to drama. Okay, people used to get out and about. We used to be socializing so much more. We used to have so many more hobbies and things in the outdoors and in the real world. But today, people are not fulfilling those needs to meet other people, to go through their ups and downs in life with others. And what's happening is that people are just feeling like there's something missing in their lives. And they watch these programs and they are like, oh my God, this happens in real life. I must go home and I must speak to my husband or my boyfriend like that. Oh my God, I must have these ups and downs in my friendship groups. I must have these dramas. And then I will go and tell all my other friends about the dramas. And it's like you can see through it a mile away. But nice women, they will take that rubbish and become part of the drama and be like, oh God, I'm so sorry. Oh, I didn't mean it like that. And suddenly they're to blame. No. But you, as a nice woman, you're not weak. You were just trained to tolerate way too much. Now, I just need you to understand that kindness without boundaries, it's just nothing more than self-betrayal. There is a difference between kindness and self-abandonment, because kindness has limits. You don't just keep going, and that's the thing. It's like it takes a very powerful person, because when you build up that momentum, it's been the hardest for me to do this. When you are just naturally a kind, giving, loving, caring person, you give, and sometimes you cannot see. It's like you are blinkered. You don't get to see the little red flags and warning signs that appear. And you miss them and you're like, oh, you make excuses. But then you start self-abandoning. Because if you don't stop that momentum and you are pushed to your limits and you cross those limits, then you're going to start feeling that resentment build up, that feeling like, wait a minute, I'm really being taken advantage of here. And it can cause you to feel absolutely horrible within yourself. But self-abandonment doesn't have limits. Every time you swallow your feelings, every single time you excuse disrespect, every time you explain away your red flags or you stay silent just to keep the peace, you are teaching people, I'm just going to absorb the pain so you don't have to feel discomfort. And you might go away after a situation where you've held your head high, or so you think, you've not said anything, you didn't ruffle any feathers, but then you feel so hurt, you feel so disappointed, you feel so let down, you just have all this hurt in your heart. Have you ever felt that? And you can ruminate on this and think about it, and it makes you physically feel like there's dis-ease within your body. You're way out of whack and out of balance. And once that pattern is set, people stop respecting you, even if they love you. And the hardest thing really is to get that power back if you have been in an environment maybe where you have allowed that to go on just because you really care for the people, you really love them, you really respect them, whatever. And it can be really hard when you actually finally show up with boundaries because people are not used to it, and suddenly you become the ultimate horrible person. You are the scapegoat, you are horrible, you're the one that everyone talks about. You're the bad one, you're the bad egg. You don't care, you've changed, you think you're too good, you think you're this, you think you're that. Actually, no. You suddenly have boundaries. You suddenly treating yourself with respect, and it's not appreciated by the people that used to walk all over you. And that's what you need to understand. So yeah, it doesn't feel good, but you need to live with that because either way, you're going to feel that tension. Now, I just want to go into very briefly the psychology of power. So this is what powerful women do instead. So powerful women, they are warm, they are compassionate, they are emotionally intelligent, but they're also boundaried. They're also selective, very selective, and they are also very unavailable for disrespect. They do not over-explain, they do not overgive, chase, rescue. They let discomfort exist. They allow consequences to happen. They don't negotiate their worth. And that is why they are respected, protected, chosen and valued by society. And I'm going to go into this so much more in this series. I'm just giving you a quick kind of breakdown about the things that I want to go into and talk about in this series. So finally today, let's talk about your identity shift, because you're going to go from being nice to being untouchable. Now, this isn't about becoming cold. Sometimes you'll feel like you need to shut down to get through these situations. But no, it's not about being cold. It's about being self-led. You're not going to lose your softness, but you're going to anchor it in strength. You're going to stop being the nice one though. You're going to become the woman that has standards. And that can be felt. It's a very strong, powerful energy. And the moment you do that, your entire life changes. So make sure that you hit like, that you've subscribed, and you're ready for the next one in the series, because this is going to help you so much if you're in this situation right now. And if this episode hit something within you, it just means that something inside of you is waking up. The part of you that is tired of being drained, tired of being used, tired of being silenced, tired of being diminished in front of other people. If that is you, then your next step is the spark activation. You're going to find out more about that in the link below, but it's a personal, emotional, and psychological blueprint, totally bespoke to you. And it's going to show you why you keep attracting the same dynamics, where your boundaries collapse, and how you can step into calm, feminine authority. So I want you to understand that this point in time, this needs to be where the nice ends and your power begins. So if you want to find out more about the spark activation and claim yours, you can click the link below. But until then, make sure that you've hit subscribe, and I will see you in the next episode. Don't forget to leave me a comment, and I will absolutely get back to you. Have an amazing day, and I'll see you for the next one.